When you've had cancer yourself, when you've had that diagnosis, it just hits harder when you hear about someone else going through it. A Blink-182 fan since 1998. So, 23 years. Nobody likes you when you're 23 years into your fandom of Blink-182. It's not punk rock enough. Today's video is going to be about Mark Hoppus from Blink-182 fame. And he's been in a ton of other musical projects, Plus 44, Simple Creatures, just to name a couple. He's produced a lot. He's played bass and sang vocals in just numerous bands. Just recently, he has he's come forward with the news that he has been undergoing chemotherapy for 3 months. My relationship to this story is pretty deep, and I'm gonna go into that right now. So in 2014, I remember I just saw an Against Me show and I was in pain. Turns out I had testicular cancer that was pretty severe. I'd probably had it for years. The tumor was in my abdomen, crushing my kidney, and it was bad. It was really bad. I had one testicle removed, then I did chemotherapy, and that didn't work the first time, so then I had to have a surgery where they cut me in half and took out all my organs and scraped all the cancer out. Thought I was done, had to do another round of chemotherapy, and then I was done. Had some hiccups along the way, but not the return of the cancer, just some hernia problems that are related to having surgeries. So, huge punk rock fan. Been Green Day, Blink-182, obsessed since I discovered them in the mid to late 90s. And I've really kind of grown with these bands. I've gotten to know them, and I've grown old with these bands, like Green Day I've talked about, like Blink-182 I've talked about. Mark Hoppus is 49, and it seems as the time goes by, that me and the rock stars, our ages are kind of like leveling out. They're kind of like in between me and my dad's age, but it does seem as we get older, the age difference is not really there anymore. I've had a very, not a cool situation, but when I was going through my cancer trials and tribulations, Jason White from Green Day was diagnosed with tonsil cancer. We didn't get a whole lot of news about what his situation was. I think he's kind of, like Mark right now, he chose to be kind of private about it. And then around the same time, Green Day was having a rough time in that, the trilogy era and after. They were just having a real run of bad luck, it seemed like, with Jason White being diagnosed with cancer. And then Mike Dirnt's wife, Brittany, was diagnosed with cancer. And so in a way, it really helped me through it, in that me and Jason White and Brittany Dirnt, Pritchard, we were all going through it essentially at the same time. And that was really part of my battle, and it really helped me out. That we all got through it. We all got through it, and I felt like it was together. So Mark, I know you're probably not going to see this. I'm a very small-time YouTuber, but man, I'm praying for you. I'm thinking about you. I know that you have the best available treatments that you can receive. So I'm hoping that your financial situation makes the chemotherapy and maybe the possible surgeries easier. I would imagine that it would. I'm a nobody essentially, and you're one of the greatest frontmen of all time. So I'm assuming you're getting some pretty darn good treatment and some pretty darn good doctors. I had some darn good doctors myself. They saved my life, and they can do that for you. I know you're going to be okay. As for the kind of the mysterious type of cancer where he hasn't really said, it's understandable that a rock star does want some privacy in matters like this. And another thing is, my cancer was testicular cancer. So I had a tough time. It was embarrassing and tough and hard to talk about. And you know, it could be something like that. It could be maybe he just doesn't want to talk about it right now. He's just letting people process. But you know, it's kind of embarrassing anyway, just to be a cancer patient. You sort of feel like you're weighing down the world, you know, making everybody miserable with your sickness and making everybody kind of awkward around you, because it happens. People get weird when they think you're dying of cancer. So another thing that is very, very, very almost entirely the case is that doctors cannot give you certainty. I know we've all probably done it when we're the cancer patient, is we ask the doctor, is this going to work? And they can't answer that question. They can't. They say, well, we're going to try this. And then if this doesn't do what we think it's going to do, then we'll try this. And there's a lot of that. And there's several layers of that between you and a death sentence. You know, so it's, people think that cancer is a death sentence. It's not. A lot of times people can live with it. A lot of times people can manage it, and it's not the end of the world. So we got to let Mark, we got to give him time to process this. Man, it was 2014 with me, and I still haven't processed it yet. So give him like a decade. You know, give him a decade to deal with this himself in his own way, in his own world. I just wanted to make a video like this for Mark. Mark, again, I hope you'll watch my video. That would be awesome. You're going to have a lot of time sitting there doing the chemo. You better take a ton of books, a laptop, a cell phone, chargers for all your electronics, because chemotherapy is time consuming. You know, I'm a poor person and I got the free foot massages, the free hand massages, and those are awesome. So I know that you're keeping your sense of humor. That was a big part of mine, especially with my type of cancer. I just had to roll with the jokes, had to make my own jokes, and I just had to deal with it any way that I could. Some people don't like to joke about that. Some people don't like to joke about sickness or things like that. But you're in Blink-182, man. I know you have the best sense of humor in the industry. So keep that sense of humor. It will get you through some of those things. If you're, you know, maybe you're cracking jokes at your own expense and making other people cringe a little bit, that's okay, man. If they're cringing with you, you're still alive. So God bless you, Mark. You've really changed my life. Yeah, Mark, you have. You've changed my life. You've been with me for over 2 decades, and you've really got me through some tough times with your music. It's going to be hard. It's going to be painful. But it's going to make for some really great lyrics and for some really great bass lines, even some guitar riffs, years from now, when you're able to process it differently than jokes and kind of trying to stay private about it. You're going to process it privately, and you're probably going to process it publicly at some point down the road. Again, Mark, I wish you the best, and I know you're going to be okay. You know, this tour is going to be over, and you're going to survive. So I know that was corny, but I'm, you know, trying to make you feel better here. And yeah, everything's going to be okay, Mark. It really is. You're going to be okay. Chemotherapy is rough. My suggestion to anybody, and I tell everybody this, do not let yourself get really sick. That was my biggest issue with chemotherapy, is I thought that it was supposed to be like this hellish, just hell on earth existence where you're just like laying in the floor on the verge of death. No. Because every time I went to the doctors the next time, they're like, oh gosh, why didn't you call us? I thought I was supposed to be this way. No! You're supposed to be a little nauseous, a little bit fatigued, a little bit confused. But if you feel really, really terrible, call the doctor immediately. Doesn't matter if it's 3 a.m., doesn't matter, midnight, after midnight, whatever. Call them. Call 911, go to the ER. I had to go to the ER so many times with chemotherapy, having some scary side effects. Thought I was having a heart attack one time. So just be aware of your body and let somebody else around you know, because that was my biggest problem, was I was confused. And a lot of times I was really bad off sick, and I was just kind of, laying on a couch or laying in the floor, and nobody really knew how bad I was until I went to the doctor. So go to your doctor, call your doctor, make sure you got somebody around that knows how you are, because unfortunately I didn't have a lot of people around all the time. So I was just, laying in a floor somewhere, being really, really sick. So take care of yourself. You're going to get through this. I know I just saw the article said you got several more months to go. It's a season, man. It's a season, and they're gonna get rid of it, and you're gonna be okay. And that new Blink record's gonna kick our pants. Mark, take care.